Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Excellency Foreign Minister, during his meeting with a number of officials in New York, stresses on the importance of serious international cooperation in achieving security and peace regionally and internationally. And the number of victims of the Israeli attack increases as the aggression on areas in Lebanon continues. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, met with Tim Lenderking, U.S. Special Envoy for Yemen. During the meeting, the two parties reviewed the efforts made to support the peace process in Yemen and the humanitarian efforts to alleviate the suffering of the Yemeni people. His Excellency stressed the Sultanate of Oman's firm stance in supporting political dialogue as a way to achieve stability, peace, and harmony in Yemen. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, met with His Excellency Abbas Araghchi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Islamic Republic of Iran. During the meeting, the two sides discussed views on regional and international issues of common interest, stressing the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in resolving current issues and challenges, and joint cooperation to support efforts to achieve peace in the region. The two ministers stressed the strength of bilateral relations and historical ties between the two countries and their keenness to continue developing cooperation and partnership in various fields of mutual benefit to the two friendly peoples. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, met with His Excellency Alexander Schallenberg, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Austria. During the meeting, the two parties reviewed the current regional and international situation and efforts to achieve security and peace in the region and the world, stressing the importance of serious international cooperation to confront these challenges and rely on international law and the foundations of justice for all. During the meeting, the two ministers expressed their interest in developing partnerships in their renewable energy, education, and tourism sectors, which would contribute to deepening the economic and scientific interests between the two friendly countries. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, met with His Excellency Tawheed Hussein, Foreign Affairs Advisor, and His Excellency Mohammed Fawz Al Kabir Khan, Energy and Mineral Resource Advisor of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, within the framework of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The meeting discussed the two countries' interest in the history of existing relations and the development of cooperation between them, areas of partnership and existing trade exchange in various fields, and the desire of both sides to develop them to broader horizons. Gaza-based health authorities said in a statement that the Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip had risen to 41,534. Over the past 24 hours, the Israeli occupation forces killed 39 people and wounded 86 others, bringing the total number of deaths and injuries respectively to 41,534 and over 96,000 since the conflict erupted in early October 2023. A spokesman for the civil defense in Gaza said that the Israeli army conducted an airstrike on a school sheltering displaced persons in northern Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp, killing at least 15 people, including women and children, and injuring dozens of others. In addition, the Palestinian official news agency Wafa reported that the Israeli army launched a drone attack on southern Gaza's Rafah city, killing 2 people. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres stressed that Lebanon cannot become another Gaza. During an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council to discuss the developments in Lebanon, Guterres said, despite the dangerous circumstances, the UN peacekeeping forces in Lebanon are still in their positions, Guterres urged the UN Security Council to work towards stopping the war, calling on all parties to avoid escalation. The International Organization for Migration estimated that more than 200,000 people have been displaced in Lebanon during the past few days. An Israeli strike today killed 9 members of a family, including 4 children, in the Lebanese border town of Sheba. Meanwhile, Hezbollah said it had fired rockets into Israel today at Kiryat Ata near the city of Haifa, some 30 kilometers from the border, and the city of Tiberias, declaring the attacks a response to Israel's strikes on villages, cities, and civilians. Though Israeli air defenses have shot down many of Hezbollah's rockets, limiting the damage they've done, the group's attack have shut down normal life across much of northern Israel as more areas fall into its crosshairs. A Russian drone attack on the southern town of Izmail killed 3 people and injured 14, including 3 children, Odessa regional prosecutors said today. Overnight, Russia missile attack on the central city of Dnipro also damaged an industrial facility and caused a fire. Drone and shelling attacks on the region damaged infrastructure, and no casualties had been reported in the attack. The Ukrainian Air Force said it shot down 24 out of 32 drones during Russia's overnight attack. One of the drones entered the Romanian airspace, it said. Russian forces also used 1 ballistic and 2 cruise missiles during the attack. Hurricane Helene made landfall yesterday in northwestern Florida as a Category 4 storm, as forecasters warned of catastrophic flooding along the Gulf Coast. The National Hurricane Center in Miami said Helene roared ashore around 11:10 p.m. near the Perry, Florida, in the Big Bend area of the state's Gulf Coast. It had maximum sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. Officials have forecast storm surges of up to 6 meters, and they warned they could be particularly catastrophic and unsurvivable in Florida's Apalachee Bay. Hurricane warnings and flash flood warnings extended far beyond the coast up into northern Georgia and western North Carolina. Still to come in our news bulletin. The activities of the second Gulf Azerbaijani Economic Forum continues in the capital, Baku. The second Health Promotion Forum in Dakhliya Governorate discussed the necessity of enhancing community participation to raise health awareness and improve preventative health programs. The forum reviewed successful community health initiatives and programs and their impact on enhancing the health of the individual and society. The forum included various work papers that focused on the mechanisms of implementing preventative strategies. The Sultanate of Oman participated in the activities of the 8th International Arts Forum for People with Disabilities in Egypt. The activities highlighted the capabilities and ambitions of people with disabilities, as well as the challenges facing them. The Sultanate of Oman joined 54 countries that participated in the event with the aim of supporting this segment of society and encouraging them to showcase their skills and talents. The second Gulf Azerbaijani Economic Forum explores areas of cooperation in the capital, Baku. More details in the following report.
Strengthening economic investment and commercial cooperation between Omani private sector and its Azerbaijani counterpart was reviewed by Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the capital, Baku, as part of its participation in the second Gulf Azerbaijani Economic Forum.
From our side, we believe the importance of the Republic of Azerbaijan as a very strategic logistic hub, which comes with lots of corridors, international corridors, that we believe it is going to be very important to have this partnership. Today we signed an MOU, and that MOU aims to increase our commercial exchange between the countries of Gulf and Azerbaijan.
The forum discussed the business environment in the Alat Free Economic Zone in Baku, the advantages and incentives offered by the zone to investors, and the most prominent projects there. The forum also included bilateral meetings between Gulf businessmen and their counterparts from Azerbaijan to discuss the establishment of joint partnerships that contribute to enhancing trade exchange.
I'm pleased today to be here at the second Gulf Azerbaijan Economic Forum. This forum aims to find and strengthen the mutual cooperation between the GCC and Azerbaijan. What I have seen today that there are a lot of opportunities which the GCC can have a relationship between them and Azerbaijan.
This is the second Azerbaijan GCC forum. The focus on this forum is areas of common interest between all GCC countries as well as Azerbaijan. The focus is mainly on energy sector, food sector, digital sector, as well as logistics.
This second Gulf Azerbaijani Economic Forum reviewed several topics related to cooperation in the fields of renewable energy, water and electricity, transportation and logistics, agriculture, and food industries.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Excellency Foreign Minister, during his meeting with a number of officials in New York, stresses on the importance of serious international cooperation in achieving security and peace regionally and internationally. And the number of victims of the Israeli attack increases as the aggression on areas in Lebanon continues. With that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night and have an enjoyable weekend.